There might be some pauses when I read. Yeah, but I'll just go. Okay. Okay. I'll do the best job I can. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The team vision is to win gold medals. This is a very clearly stated. The goal is to win gold medals, and this is not only the philosophy of Rowing Canada. This is the philosophy of the national sport organization, which now is called Own the Podium. It's a branch of the government. Most of our funding comes from the government. We have very small sponsorships, so a lot of policies are dictated by the government, and it's quite clear they're trying to win medals, but preferably gold medals. This is the standard. So, for example, the goal, or that's the mission, and also there's a secondary mission is participation, to try to encourage participation in the sport. That would be Rowing Canada's mission or vision, a mission and vision, but the goal is to have as many champions as possible at the Olympic Games. And there's other championships that are important, Pan American Games, Commonwealth Rowing Championships, World Cups, but mostly it's only once every 4 years is the determining factor for success. I think the goals of Rowing Canada, or Own the Podium, which determine our goals. I think one of the strengths of Rowing Canada, our national team, is that we actually sometimes even have tougher standards. And I'll give you an example. When we did really well in Barcelona in 1992, our standards to make the Olympic team were harder than the Canadian Olympic Committee. So in the Olympic years, the Canadian Olympic Committee determines who's on the team. So they were saying something like, maybe top 12, and we said no, top 6. So we often have standards that are in rowing in our own federation or with our own national team, higher standards than even the Canadian Olympic Committee, as it's called now. It's now called the Canadian Olympic Committee, but it's controls the Olympics. Yeah, I think everybody has a standard of excellence. So everyone, it's interesting. I'm not quite sure how we did this in Canada, but even at the lowest level, it's every young child's dream to go to the Olympics. But if you're a hockey player in Canada, your dream is to play professional hockey. And if you're a basketball player, you want to play in the NBA, the National Basketball League. Or maybe if you're a little lower, you want to play in Europe. But you don't necessarily think, I want to go to the Olympics. But in rowing, all the young children, all the young coaches, all the clubs, the highest level is to go to the Olympics, primarily because there's no professional rowing. But also it's a vision that's shared aggressively by all the clubs, there's the 10 provinces, they all support this vision. So the provincial associations are very supportive of the vision. So this is the types of questions. The answers are, most importantly, selecting the national team. How do you choose the double? The 2X, the double? Yeah. The double is a unique event because quite often the fastest two singles are very fast, but the parts are not as good as the whole, so that to put two fast individuals, but normally we choose from number 1 and 2 in the single because that's the best way to test individual abilities and character. But then often the challenge is to blend these two individuals together, but usually it's always in the single. But then once they are set as a double, they also have to compete against the rest of the team on our gold medal standards. So their standards that are set in a tailwind and perfect water. So for example, for the lightweight men's double, it's 6:05, and they have to compete. And for the men's lightweight 4, it's 5:45. These are the concept. I'm sure you're familiar with this, of gold medal standards. So they have to do a trial against the women, lightweight women, and lightweight men, and they have to be, let's say, if the women's 8 is 96% of the standard, the lightweight 4 has to be 94, at least 2% within. And the under 23s are usually another 2% slower. So the double goes through selection from singles, bring them together, but then they have to compete against the women to come here or to go to the Olympics or go to the World Championships. The 4 is normally selected out of pairs. Normally, so the smaller the boat, the more you can identify people. This is the general philosophy. But it's interesting, each coach has a little different philosophies. Like I would say our present heavyweight men's four that's coming along nicely, they are more just the four best guys on the ergometer, best technique, best blend, best fit. But they probably also are the top two pairs. So usually it's small boats to identify bigger boats. But each coach has their own philosophy a little bit. So the way it's set up is we have a high performance director, essentially a national coach, Peter Cookson his name is, and he says I'm in charge of lightweight women, John Kehoe, heavyweight and lightweight, I'm lightweight men, John Kehoe, heavyweight men, me, lightweight men, John Kehoe, heavyweight women, lightweight women, and Martin McElroy, heavyweight men. So each coach has their own little touch. So the national coach, high performance director, Peter Cookson says, okay, Al, you can do it a little differently if you want. So not everybody follows the model I'm talking about. But my model is definitely singles for the double and pairs for the four. How are the matching of rowers being valued? I think I answered that already. Yeah. What is the standard? Or what is the number?
Top level.
Under at maybe close to 72.5 kilogram, very close, maybe sometimes 73.5 in the winter. Under 610 is the goal. But right now, for example, in the four here, which is 6'11", 6'16", 6'16", 6'20". These are young guys. They're more maybe be final, maybe qualify for the Olympics. And the double is 6'16" and 6'20". So, but the goal is 6'10". We believe that to win a medal, you have to be under 6'10", or average 6'10". Maybe one guy, one in a double 6'08", the other guy 6'12". Average 6'10". That's the theoretical goal. And close to your racing weight, not 78 kilograms. It has to be 73, maybe 73.5. So I think this ergometer score is very important, the 2,000 meter. Yeah. Now this is the same. I answered that question. How high? Yeah, I answered this question. This is. I know, for example, the Danish who won in the double, Denmark, 6:08, 6:11. That was a gold medal from London 2012, 6:08, 6:11. So this is I know when we had a bronze medal lightweight men's four in Beijing, 6:08, they averaged around 6:11. So I think this is a pretty good standard for the lightweight women. I believe the women, they have to maybe break very low 7, maybe under 7:05. The Olympic double that I coached in Beijing, they were bronze, the women, 6:59 and 7:01.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the standard. Wow. So they're very, very good. But I think under 7:05 is good. They were a little rough when they rode, but they had good physiology. But I think some teams, as you know, they have maybe 7:05, but they row really well. Good blade work, good technique. So, anyways, it's men's 8, Germany through the windows, winning, of course. And then how high? We do not do VO2 max. We don't test. We just do lactate monitoring, blood lactate. Yeah, lactate.
Yeah.
So I can't answer that.
Okay.
Maybe once a year, just to set a standard, but I'm not sure of the data on that. Maybe one time per year, just to give a little more physiological information, but it's not a standard test. I can't remember the numbers there. Boat speed, of course, we monitor boat speed a lot. This is very important because you know that if you go maybe below 6% body fat, it's very low, and then let's say you go to 5 or 4, then you can't perform. So we monitor this very closely to help, and it's only with the guy that does it is Ed McNeely. You probably met him at Jim Joyce. He's very good just with the calipers. If you're good and you're the same man testing all the time, you can get very accurate, same site, same protocol. And he does this many times a year, and all the guys have their targets based on their skin, it's called skin folds with the calipers. And all these guys we try to bring down to about 6% body fat. And there's, let's say, 2 guys at home, they would have to go to 4 or 3. So we can't bring them with us. So this is a very important measure for lightweights. And it also helps them, one guy, he goes to 69 kilograms, one guy goes to 71. So it helps the team set their target weights. So this is a very important variable for us. Who is the best sculler? In lightweight men, the best guy right now, I think, is this French guy from France, Ajou. I think Ajou. He's in the double, and they won at Henley Royal, the heavyweight double. They won World Cup 2. I think they will win here. Last year, he is the world record holder in the lightweight single. So for lightweight men, this French guy is outstanding. I think it's Jeremy Anjou or something, Anjou or Ajou, some name like that. And in Canada, no one really outstanding. Yeah, that's a good question. But this sculler, but there's also probably Drysdale, Cynic for the men, Karsten for the women. I mean, but this is a little bit more about. I'm answering about lightweight men here. You had lightweight women, but I answered about lightweight men. This is LW. I'm a little more familiar now with the lightweight men because this is who I'm coaching. Best sweep rower. Probably in lightweight or heavy open? Open? Probably the Kiwi pair. Kiwi, the New Zealand guys. They're like, 17 or 18 consecutive wins or something. Like they're the best guys. But I really like this guy who strokes Great Britain men's 4, the heavyweight 4. This guy's really good. Blonde-haired guy. Triggs is a hyphenated name. Triggs something. He's really good. He has beautiful technique, especially for a big man. This Triggs Hodge. Triggs Hodge. It's like a name with a hyphen in it. He is outstanding, I think. It's just a standard job listing, it goes out on the internet. It's very standard. So then we invite applications, just anyone in the world, and then they have to apply. This one's just a standard job notice, and then we bring the top 3 candidates in for interviews, but we also watch them coach and work with the athletes. So the other thing is we check references, because sometimes we bring in someone, they look really good for 3 days, they interact well with the athletes, they look good on paper, but then if you talk to where they coached beforehand, you learn other stories. So we ask to speak to their club or their team where they coached. Maybe the second heat of the men's 8, Russia, maybe, and Great Britain. I can't see through. Everything is faded. Anyway, so physiotherapists or trainers. The physiotherapists, I can answer this question in a certain way. The ones that come here are very much like the athletes and the coaches. They earn their way here by working with the athletes year-round. So all the staff that are here, we have a chiropractor, physiotherapist, a position that's maybe from North America, athletic trainer.